Hello, today's poem we're considering is Love After Love by Derek Walcott. Before we start, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, it would be fantastic if you could, and it would be greatly appreciated. I have the poem here, so let's start. The time will come when, with elation, you will greet yourself arriving at your own door in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, "Sit here, eat." You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you ignored for another, who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit, feast on your life. Derek Walcott's poem may seem familiar. It's really famous and has been used lots of times in well-being classes. It has appeared in many polls as one of the readership's favourite poems. There's a lot to unpack here, so let's start. Love After Love is a love poem that concentrates on the aftermath of a relationship and the need to heal oneself from the pain of heartbreak. The poem speaker encourages the broken-hearted lover to be kind to themselves and invites them to focus on themselves for a while and not others in order to rebuild their confidence and celebrate their self. The poem is conversational in its tone, and this is achieved through several techniques. The speaker speaks like a trusted friend, giving advice. The irregular meter and line length and use of enjambment, run-on lines, and caesura, abrupt stops, create an impression of the rhythm and flow of natural speech. The use of you and yours throughout makes a direct connection with the reader, as though the poem speaker is offering advice directly to them. In stanza 1, the poet uses an extended metaphor of returning home. The speaker presents an image of the hurt lover returning home to themselves. In your own mirror suggests that in a time of great pain, you should entirely focus on yourself and not on anybody else. Mirror also suggests this is a time for reflection and introspection. You will greet yourself arriving suggests that the person has been away too long. In caring and focusing on others, they have forgotten to attend to their own needs and well-being. Each will smile at the other's welcome, suggests that this recognition is a moment of joy when the two images divided for too long heal and become one again. The first line, "The time will come," is hopeful and confident. It reassures the person that there will come a time for healing and mending their broken heart. Elation on the second line creates a joyous mood that continues throughout the poem. Stanza 2 continues with the metaphor of a stranger returning home. Here the host has prepared a feast to celebrate the stranger's return. Note how on line 7 the poet divides yourself into yourself to stress the importance of caring for your own well-being. To celebrate the stranger's return to one's self, a feast has been laid. The use of imperatives, sit, eat, and give, emphasize the kindly instruction the poem's speaker gives to the returning stranger, advising them to relax and regain the physical and emotional strength that often drains during a fraught ending to a relationship. A feast laid for someone returning after a long time away reminds us of the parable of the prodigal son in the New Testament of the Bible, where a father celebrates the return of his child after many years away. The repetition of give and the reference to bread and wine and the instruction to take nourishment references the Last Supper in the New Testament. The bread and wine symbolize the need for the hurt person to re-nourish their spirit and literally to eat and grow strong again. As often, a loss of appetite follows a traumatic event, particularly as the ending of a close relationship can be a type of bereavement. Alluding to the Last Supper reminds us of sacrifice and the sacrifices we often make in a relationship, sometimes at the cost of our physical, emotional, and mental health. Give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you. In these lines, the hurt person is compared to a stranger because they have lost touch with themselves by putting someone else first and spending all their time and energy making someone else happy. And stanza 3 reminds the heartbroken person of this. All your life, whom you ignored for another. During the relationship, over time, they lost sight of themselves and lost sight of their needs. The speaker encourages the grieving person to find themselves again and channel the love and energy they expended on others back on themselves. Heart repeated twice and love stress this is a poem about emotions and relationships. In the final two stanzas, the speaker kindly encourages the hurt party to clear away the clutter of the broken relationship. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Take, peel, sit and feast, all imperatives, command words, reflect that the speaker, like any good friend, is kind but firm in their advice. Throughout the poem, imperatives give the speaker a kindly, wise tone when addressing the heartbroken man or woman. Once the clutter of the former relationship is removed, the speaker instructs the hurt party to focus on their self. The image of peeling their reflection from the mirror and sharing in the celebratory meal is memorable and supports the theme of celebrating the self and becoming whole once more. The feast symbolises harmony and a time to indulge themselves, to grow stronger and heal. The final sentence, made stronger by the caesura, a sudden stop, makes the speaker's instruction to sit more forceful. The caesura gives their advice to feast on your life more weight, making it persuasive and encouraging. Celebrate, a positive emotive word, ensures that the poem ends on a positive note. First published in 1976, this poem has become a popular choice for self-help groups and for those who seek to rebuild their self-esteem and confidence. Love After Love is a modern poem, yet it was inspired by a poem published in 1633, George Herbert's Love 3, a religious poem about accepting love, and it ends with the lines, "You must sit down, says love, and taste my meat. So I did sit and eat." Born 1930 on the island of St. Lucia in the West Indies, poet and playwright Derek Walcott was trained as a painter, but as a young man turned to writing. He published his first poem in the local newspaper at the age of 14. 5 years later, he borrowed $200 to print his first collection, 25 poems, which he distributed on street corners. Walcott's breakthrough came with the collection In a Green Night, Poems 1948 to 1960. A book that celebrates the Caribbean and its history and investigates the scars of colonialism. Throughout a long and distinguished career, Walcott returned to those same themes of language, power, and place. In addition to his Nobel Prize in 1992, Walcott's honours include a MacArthur Foundation Genius Award, a Royal Society of Literature Award, and in 1988, the Queen's Medal for Poetry. He died in 2017. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you found it interesting and helpful. If you haven't done so already, it would be fantastic and we would be so grateful if you would subscribe to our channel. Also, check out our other videos on writing and on textual analysis. Until next time, from Carol and me, write well.